Just let's start. Hang on, I can't hear you because of the recording. 1 second. That's it. I can hear you. When it starts recording, it shuts off. You missed your alarm, did you say?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'll check it out later. But,
all right, don't worry.
Yeah.
Right, off you go. Luke, I'm sorry, I didn't manage to wake up in time. Luke, I'm sorry, I didn't manage to wake up in time.
Désolé, Luc, je me parviens, je m'arrive à me lever à l'heure, mais...
Tenses. I didn't manage to wake up in time.
D'accord. Désolé, Luc, je suis pas arrivé à me lever à l'heure.
Me lever, remember, me lever. There's no such verb as me lever. Go again. Je suis pas arrivé à me lever. Je suis pas arrivé à me lever. Come with me on the han. Je suis pas arrivé à me lever.
Je ne suis pas arrivé à me lever.
No, you've got to bloody listen. Come with me on the han. Je suis pas arrivé à me lever. If you're not listening to that, your name isn't Crass unless you're in New Zealand, or Cross. Yeah, so to me, lever and levy are completely different sounds. To you, they're the same sound. Does that tell me you're focusing on vowels or you're focusing on consonants?
Yeah.
If lever and levy to you feel the same or feel correct, does that mean that you're interested in vowels or consonants? Consonants. What have you got to be interested in? Minimizing the consonant. Do you remember our little friends last week? And sing for me on the vowel. Je me suis levé. Say, je me suis levé.
Je me suis levé.
That's it. Fall in love with the vowels. Good. Stephanie, je suis désolé. So, Stephanie, je suis désolé, je ne me suis pas levé à l'heure. Je suis désolé, je ne me suis pas levé à l'heure.
Désolé, je suis pas arrivé.
No, there's no pause. There's no repeats. Je suis désolé, je me suis pas levé à l'heure. Do you remember last week I said when we do imitation, it'll mean that when we then get corrections, we need it off in one. Close your eyes. Don't listen to the words. Ready with the imitation? Je me suis pas levé à l'heure.
Je me suis pas levé à l'heure.
Good. Imitate the fuck out of it. The words will drop into your mind. Don't aim for the words. No words will drop into your mind. Good. If it was, I'm sorry that I didn't wake up, rather than the pause, how would you say I'm sorry that I didn't wake up?
Je suis désolé que je...
No. Je suis désolé de ne... Yeah, remember the infinitive option? No.
Yeah. Je suis désolé de n'avoir pas arrivé à...
We've done this trick before. Right. Watch this. Who did I do this with the other day? Say for me, he ate. Just pure and simply say for me, he ate.
Il a mangé.
Nice pronunciation. Other than the subject pronoun il, we've got to represent the have, and we've got to represent the manger. So say for me, let's say, je suis désolé d'avoir mangé. So just say for me, je suis désolé d'avoir mangé.
Désolé d'avoir mangé.
Great. So do you see what we've done? We took the auxiliary and we took the past participle and we stuck it after de. Say for me, I left. Je suis
parti.
Great. Other than the subject pronoun je, we've got to represent the suis and we've got to represent the parti. Could you say for me, I'm sorry I left?
Je suis désolé d'avoir parti.
We've got to represent the suis. What is suis from?
Être.
Are we clear on what I'm trying to tell you? We've got to represent what we're hearing in the normal part.
Yeah.
Yes. So say for me, I'm sorry I left. Go on.
Je suis désolé d'être parti.
Now say it in French with a soft mouth. Soft consonants.
Je suis désolé d'être parti.
Good. You sound like you're going into the room. Are you back?
Yeah.
Have you gone off for a pee or something?
I could hear an alarm going off in the background. Yeah, okay, I'm back.
Lovely. Right. Now say for me, he ate it. Just say he ate it.
Il a mangé.
Lovely. So other than the il, we've got to represent the le represent the a, represent the manger. Are you clear on the pattern? We represent everything in our past tense, in our passé composé, after de. Everything will get represented, not the subject pronoun. So il l'a mangé. I've got to represent the le, got to represent the a, and I've got to represent the manger. Could you please say for me, he's sorry he ate it?
Je suis désolé.
He is sorry. He is sorry. He is sorry. Yeah, our original sentence was he ate it. Il l'a mangé. So say for me, he's sorry he ate it.
Il est désolé d'avoir la mangé.
Stand still. What the pissing hell is going on? Come here, sit down, focus, stop your morning, whatever, toiletry work. Focus on me. Not when you're coming out with shit like that. Where is the auxiliary, Christy, in avoir mangé? Where is the auxiliary?
After the pronoun.
Where is the auxiliary in the sentence avoir mangé? Which one of those two words is a bloody auxiliary?
Oh, avoir.
So bloody hell, would you now pop the pronoun where the bloody pronoun goes? So
Yeah.
he's sorry he ate it. Go on. Can we please go back 18 months and can we say this sentence? Bits before verbs, except before infinitives. Please repeat.
Bits before verbs, except after infinitives.
Lukey didn't say that in one way, shape, or fucking form. Bits before verbs, except before infinitives. Go.
Bits before verbs, except before infinitives.
Good Christ, Chris, it's your own bloody language, English. Right, so in other words, if we've got avoir mangé, where is the pronoun going to go?
Before avoir.
Lovely. Does manger to basic bitches sound exactly the same as manger? Yes, because it's an er verb. Does that mean that you go le manger? No, because on this occasion, how is manger, Chris, spelt?
M-A-N-G-E with the accent.
That's right, spot on you. So could you now say for me, representing, do you see the pattern I'm telling you? You're going to represent everything that was in your original past minus the subject pronoun. So your original sentence was après l'avoir mangé. All right, I think this is the video I was talking about with Robbie. I've got to do après l'avoir mangé. So can you now basically go again then and say he's sorry he didn't eat it?
Don't know. I'm going to repeat exactly what I did last time.
No, you're not, Chris.
Sorry,
Chris, because this is what you said last time. Il est désolé avoir le manger. That is what you said last time. So you're not going to say that again, are you? So say for me, he's sorry he ate it.
Ah, okay. I could have sworn I said
no. I will enjoy your WhatsApp when you listen to it back. Say yes, fuck me. Okay. Up you go. Okay. And you didn't exactly evidentially support your case by when I asked you to say bits before verbs except before infinitives, you said bits before verbs except after infinitives. So to be quite honest with you, I don't know if I fucking support your evidence. So up you go. It's a say for me.
Because I was thinking about it. Il est désolé de l'avoir mangé. Il est désolé de l'avoir mangé.
Lovely. So now say for me, il s'en est acheté. He bought himself some. Just say he bought himself some. Il s'en est acheté.
Il s'en est acheté.
Represent everything apart from the subject pronoun. That's the trick. Represent everything apart from the subject pronoun. Can you now say he's sorry he bought himself some? He's sorry he bought himself some.
Il est désolé de son avoir acheté.
Punch your bollock, the most sensitive one, please. Il s'en est acheté. Listen to Auntie Lukey. If you're fucking around with a me, there is listen, you're not with me, you're not mentally with me. Be with me. If you're fucking around with a me, There is every possibility, Chrissy, you're right, that it could be or have. If you're fucking around with a t, it could be or have. If you're fucking around with a nu, it could be or have. If you're fucking around with a vu, it could be or have. If, Chris, you are using ce, with or without an en, what does it mean mood-wise you're using? Reflexive, agreed, or reciprocal, agreed? Yeah?
Yeah.
So automatically, you are going to have which auxiliary verb?
Être.
Spot on. There is the possibility of saying de mon avoir if it was somebody else. He's sorry, he bought me some. Il était désolé de m'en avoir acheté. I'm sorry, I bought myself some. Je suis désolé de m'en être acheté. I'm sorry, I resented myself for all those years. It turns out it wasn't my fault. Je suis désolé de m'en être voulu. He's sorry that he resented me for all those years. It turns out it wasn't my fault. Il est désolé de m'en avoir voulu. Do you understand? So I need you to, quick as anything, if you've got pronoun, right, so look, il a mangé. Get rid of the il. All we're gonna do, we're keeping everything else the same. We're just turning our auxiliary into an infinitive. Il a mangé, après avoir mangé, il est désolé d'avoir mangé. Il est parti. Keep parti, change that to the infinitive, get rid of that. Il est désolé d'être parti. Il l'a acheté. Get rid of the il. Il est désolé de l'avoir acheté. The only thing that's going to change is the auxiliary. So in these situations, if there's any bloody pronouns, they're going to still go in the same place. You know, son, mon, ton, vous en, le, lui, blah, 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 whatever the fucker is, it's going to start first. All right? Because normally, if you had top line and bottom line, as you know, il le fait, il le faisait, il le fera, blah, blah, blah. Il va le faire. The le would move before the infinitive. I totally grant that. But on the occasion where your infinitive is your auxiliary, your infinitive will have the pronoun before it. So in any of these examples, when it went pronouns have or be some past shit, yeah? And we haven't even gotten onto adverbs with this yet. We're about to get onto that. Whenever you get adverbs, pronouns, and past shit, you need to respect the order. Every single other thing is going to stay in exactly the same place until we do adverbs. All right? So, straight back at me. Il s'en est acheté. Say for me, he's sorry he bought himself some.
I got to be honest, I didn't understand a thing you were saying there. I'm sorry, Luke. It just came at me too fast, too much. I really...
Right. Okay, look at me.
I honestly...
Listen, right. All you're going to do is change the auxiliary into the infinitive. So say you had il a mangé. Taking away the subject, what two words are you left with? Of that, il a mangé. Taking away the subject, what two words are you left with?
A mangé.
Good job. So if I converted the auxiliary into an infinitive, what two words would I have? Not that it means shit on its own, Chrissy, but what two words would I have?
Avoir mangé.
And that's going to go either A after an après, like après avoir mangé, or B after a de, like il est content d'avoir mangé. That's our structure, isn't it? After après and de, yeah? If I said elle est partie, if I got rid of the L, and then I was left with a partie, convert my auxiliary to an infinitive, what would that give me, Chrissy?
Être parti.
You're getting there. And now would you just try saying it after après and after a de?
Après être parti, d'être parti.
Gorgeous. If I then brought in a pronoun, notice in the original, obviously, the pronoun is going to go before the pissing auxiliary. Il l'a pris. He took it, yes? Do we agree that the pronoun is always going to go before the auxiliary, yeah? Il l'a pris, yes?
Yes, I do.
Hang on, don't go ahead of yourself. Took. Right, the sentence we're using to remember how to do this is just the passé composé. So whilst I could argue, look, pronouns are always going to go blah, all I'm saying is in the passé composé, are we very clear that the le, me, te, le, whatever the pronoun is, it's gonna go before the auxiliary verb. Yes? Yeah?
Yeah.
So just remind yourself that of your head. So just say for me, he saw me. Just quickly say for me, he saw me.
Il m'a vu.
Good. We acknowledge that the me goes before the a. Would you please say for me, he saw them? People plural. He saw them.
Il les a vus.
Good. And would you say for me, I got washed, which is reflexive, and again acknowledge where the pronoun goes in relation to the auxiliary. Let me hear that.
Je me suis lavé.
Good. And just acknowledge temporarily. You wouldn't think in these terms normally because it's far too easy for you. Do you acknowledge that the pronoun goes before the auxiliary in all of those sentences? Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. We're now saying that with our friend après and with our friend de, we're going to carry on exactly the same trick. The only trick we've done thus far is get rid of the person doing it and convert any be verb into the infinitive and any have verb into the infinitive. Agreed? Agreed? That's been our trick so far. So if we went pronoun, have or be in the auxiliary past tense, we're now going to go pronoun, still starting with the pronoun. So that would mean après, me, te, le, lui, be, or de, le, lui, le. Do you understand? So those pronouns are still going to go first. Then you have or be in the infinitive, then your past participle. So your pronoun is going to, again, precede, go before your avoir or your être. All right? So if I said, il les a vus, il les a vus, try it for me after de. What's that going to be? De
les avoir vus.
Spot on, you're getting there. Ils se sont lavés. Ils se sont lavés. Only one of those bastards needs changing. Could you please put that after an après?
De s'être lavé.
Well done. Well done. It can only be have or be in the middle. Il. No. Vous calling all cars. Vous en êtes voulu. You guys resented yourselves. Vous en êtes voulu. This goes, only change now is the auxiliary, isn't it? Vous en êtes voulu. What's the auxiliary? What's that going to be after a de? Vous en êtes voulu. What's that going to be after a de?
De vous en êtes...
Listen to Luki. Your normal sentence is vous en êtes voulu. Vous en êtes voulu. Which one of those is the subject pronoun?
The first one.
Great.
Yeah, the first one is vous.
That has to go in our after de or après, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Yep. So in other words, is it at all possible after de or après to use double vous?
No. So
lovely. That's it. So vous en être. Shut up. Vous en êtes. But notice the slip. You know, vous en êtes voulu. You resented yourselves. Vous en êtes voulu. What's that going to be after de? You might like to think about it that this is going to become de or après. If you're finding the hand quite useful, vous en êtes voulu, swap the subject pronoun into, you know, or the subject, it might be a name, swap this into de or après. So off you go. So vous en êtes voulu, what's that going to be?
De vous en être voulu.
You get in there. That's it. Je vous en ai voulu. Je vous en ai voulu. I resented you. Je vous en ai voulu. Could you do that for me not after après? Je vous en ai voulu.
De vous en être...
After après. After après.
Après vous en être voulu.
Listen to Auntie Lukey. Je, calling all cars, je, vous en avez voulu. If the pronoun is je, the a, is that from be or have? More importantly, je vous. That's my first relationship. So if I'm going from a je to a vous, is there any way, Chrissy, I can be auxiliary? Shut up, Luke, you fool. Is there any way I can be reflexive?
No.
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 Ergo, yes, it sounds the same as est, but is a here going to be from the verb to have or the verb to be?
I think it's going to be from avoir in that case.
That's gorgeous, because it's je vous. It's je vous. We can't have a reflexive verb when it's je to vous. Yeah? All right? So je vous. What would the reflexive be if it was je to me? What would the reflexive verb be? The auxiliary. Sorry, what would the auxiliary be if it was je me? What would the auxiliary be automatically? If it was je me, what would the auxiliary be?
Être.
And in what conjugation would it be?
Or suis.
Spot on. So yes, as a homonym, yes, as a homonym, as a homonym, you're gonna hear a, and yes, with the work we've been doing thus far, you might be tempted to go, oh yeah, shit, that's être. And yes, is that a verb which can elsewhere use être? Yes to both of those questions, agreed? But if we've got je vous en ai voulu, off you go then. So could you now do this for me with après?
Après vous en avoir voulu.
You're getting there. Couple more. Tu le lui as envoyé. Tu le lui as envoyé. Tu le lui as envoyé. You sent to him. Tu le lui as envoyé.
Après...
Do it me with both après and de. Do it me with both après and de. Tu le lui as envoyé.
Après le lui avoir envoyé.
You're getting there, Chris? Do it for me with the de.
De le lui avoir envoyé.
Good. Okay. If you've got now some pronouns with the combination of the adverb. So we know adverbs after verb number one. But when we've got these nut and pa bitches, okay, these nut and pa bitches, where do nut and pa go with an infinitive?
Before the infinitive.
Lovely. So in other words, je le lui ai. I've run out of fingers. Pas envoyé. Je le lui ai pas envoyé. I'm so sorry, Chris, to be licking between fingers, but I'm running out of visual tools. And Chris, it's that or my peen. So we know. So je le lui ai pas envoyé. Yeah. I am obviously going to get rid of my je. We've been converting that into de or après, haven't we, thus far? Yeah. So I'm happy I didn't send it him. Je suis content de.
Ne le lui.
No what? Ne pas comes together, don't they? Yeah. Ne pas.
Pas le lui être envoyé.
Être envoyé.
Okay. Yeah. De ne pas le lui avoir envoyé.
Good, Chrissy, because by definition, if it's a lui to him, that's your target. So it can't be a reflexive verb, can it? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to be playing with an array of my tongue and oh God, how low you've fallen, Lukey. Jamais. Now, let's be very, very frank. Did I say je ne le lui ai pas envoyé, or did I say je le lui ai pas envoyé? I said the latter. Did I have the nut in my original? No. Quite acceptable in conversational French, and anybody that says otherwise is lying. I don't mean it's grammatically correct to write down, but we use that all the time. So in other words, like I'm gonna come. If you wrote that for me in an essay, I'd be disgusted. But if you said I'm gonna come, I wouldn't think there's anything wrong with it already. Luke, your examples always sound wrong. If you if you acknowledged exactly the same practice with this, Chris, you are going to need to make sure that your ne pas are both present. Yeah? Your ne jamais are both present. Your ne rien are both present. Yeah? Your ne plus are both present. Agreed?
Yeah, okay, yep.
Okay. So in other words,
even in oral, you're saying.
Yeah. After
Yeah.
the dernier après.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would the après and the ne pas is much more common. Much more common. Like after not doing it for several years, I realised, well, I might as well. Yeah. It'd be much more common to say like, you know, after several months of not doing it, après plusieurs mois sans le faire or something, you know, rather than de ne pas le faire. I mean, fine, you can do it, but like, après ne pas l'avoir fait, yeah, you can do it, but it's just not as common. But the de and the ne pas and all of this business is very, very common. Okay, good. So, je le lui ai pas donné. Je le lui ai pas donné. Will be, do it for me after de.
De ne pas le lui avoir donné.
Good. De ne pas le lui avoir donné. Go again. De ne pas le lui avoir donné. And you go until you're comfortable saying all of that stuff together. De ne pas le lui avoir donné.
De ne pas le lui avoir donné. De ne
You
pas
did a
le
lot of
lui
great
avoir
work for me
donné.
last week when you did me small consonants. So say to me, I'm really happy I didn't give it him because he turned out to be a bastard. Oui, alors je suis content de ne pas le lui avoir donné.
Je suis vraiment content de ne pas le lui avoir donné.
We had a de ne pas, didn't we? And notice, by the way, I could hear de ne pas. I can hear your consonants because French ears don't need big consonants to hear. De ne pas le lui avoir donné. You went de ne pas.
De ne pas le lui avoir donné. De ne pas le lui avoir donné.
De ne pas le lui avoir donné. Keep it small. Ouais, je suis content de ne pas le lui avoir donné.
Oui, je suis content de ne pas le lui avoir donné. Oui, je suis content de ne pas le lui avoir donné.
Okay.
Oui, je suis content de ne pas le lui avoir donné.
Vous en êtes jamais, I'm so sorry, offert. Vous en êtes jamais offert. Luke, you are so rank. I need a visual cue. We could have used the nose, I suppose. Vous en êtes jamais offert. Do it me after that.
De ne pas vous...
Excuse me. Did I just tongue you? Pardon the expression. Vous en êtes jamais. What was the pronoun that was over there? The adverb that was over there. What did my tongue just say? Did it say pas or did it say jamais?
It said pas.
Listen again. Good Lord, Chrissy.
Okay.
Vous en êtes jamais offert.
Okay.
What pronoun?
Yeah, jamais. Vous en êtes jamais offert.
Lovely. So therefore, if we take the tongue and we come where we need to go, what's that going to be after de?
De ne jamais vous en être offert.
Stand still. When they float in the abyss of space and time, in theory, it works with an avoir or an être. Why? Why do you think when they just float without anything before it, that they work with avoir or être? Any ideas? Because when they float, you don't get that all-important first relationship. Je and vous would tell you that that's an I to a you, wouldn't it? Yeah? Agreed? Yeah? Vous and vous would tell you it was a reflexive. Agreed?
Yeah.
So in other words, when you panic about whether it's have or be, remember that normally you'd have je suis content de ne jamais vous en. So even though it was way, way back up the road, you'd remember that it was a je vous, aha, therefore going to be have. On this occasion, you landed on être, well done, but there's this momentary, where am I going, have or be. Remember, vous, even if you took it to a de, you would only be able to use a de. I mean, I'm just saying for you guys to use de now because it's an easy thing to practice with quickly. If you were using a de, or even hypothetically the method with après, it's because the other clause would begin with the person doing the verb. Does that make sense? Yeah? So your brain has got to remember, hang on, back up the road here, much further back up the road, I had a vous. And I'm now coming to a vous. So if I was vous there and I'm vous over here, what's my auxiliary going to be?
Être.
That's it. So you landed, but there's this momentary, where am I going? So remember, when you float them in the space, which is a completely beautiful exercise to do, arguably in the mouth both sound correct, because they are both correct. If it's a sir, you don't even need to know who's back up the road. Obviously, do you? If it's a circus, you know it's going to be extra. Yeah. If it's anything else, it depends what's further back up the road. But we need you straight away into the right have or be. Lovely. Keep going.
So was I right there when I said?
Yeah. No, because our original sentence was vous en êtes offert.
Jamais offert.
Yeah. Jamais offert. So whatever vous de ne jamais vous en être offert. But my point is that there's this pause over whether we're going to être, and I'm just like, but remember where you came from. Yeah. Okay. Couple more. Nous nous en sommes occupés. Okay, nous nous en sommes occupés.
De ne pas.
Nobody gave you a negative. Nous nous en sommes occupés. I didn't give you a negative on purpose.
Okay.
As happy as I am, you now know where it goes. As thrilled as I am, you now know where it goes. Off you go.
De nous en être occupés.
Good. Yeah. I was happy that we looked after it. Moi, j'étais content de nous en être occupés. Yeah, moi, j'étais content de nous en être occupés. Okay. Nous nous en sommes jamais occupés. We never looked after it. Dealt with it. Nous nous en sommes jamais occupés. Which would be much more commonly on s'en est jamais occupé, to tell you the damn truth. Let's go with that one. On s'en est jamais occupé. On s'en est jamais occupé. Jamais occupé.
Okay. De ne jamais on.
Now listen, this I gave you on purpose. What are we agreeing structurally? So de and après is a thumb replace. Then we have this. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Then we have this. And then we've agreed that any pronouns that were previously there are going to be here now, yes?
Are going to be where? Sorry, could you just do that?
Coming next in our word order. Did we agree that when we first got going, that we went après or de?
Yep.
Then the pronouns, mutter, whatever. Did we agree? So before we started playing with the ne and the pas and the jamais and all of this stuff, did we agree that it was going to go après and de, then into
the pronouns?
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
So your brain is getting confused because there is a homonym of en and on.
Yeah.
En, son, a. Are we even gonna give a rat's proverbial about the first on? No, Chris, because the first on is a what? A subject pronoun. So get rid of that. How are you hearing on s'en est occupé? What are the pronouns that you can hear there?
Just on.
Sorry, that's the subject pronoun. What are the object pronouns you can hear there?
Oh, right. Okay. Now I'm getting it. Yes. Weirdly, I thought you were saying som before.
I
As in
know.
som. Yeah.
But it
On
wouldn't
son
be.
occupé. Yeah.
That's right. It wouldn't be because of the fact that it was the on. Okay.
Yeah,
There
I
are
get it.
other examples of when we get sans, and we're going to do one in a minute. Ils sont occupés, like they dealt with it or something. Yes. So we'll deal with that again in a second. So if I give you on son est occupé, well, Chris, it's my job to be providing you the nasty stuff. On son est occupé, on s'en est occupé. Do that for me after. Do that for me after. No, on s'en est jamais occupé. On s'en est jamais occupé. So what would that be, please, after de?
De ne jamais s'en être occupé.
Good, Chris, because you snatched. I liked your snatch. Pardon the expression. You snatched son. There is not a version I can think of where the past participle, shut up, Luke, where the passé composé with its pronouns will ever separate whatever pronouns were together. Le lui, keep the le lui together. Mon, keep the mon together. Me, keep the me together. Je m'y suis acheté après m'y être acheté. Il s'en est occupé. Après s'en être occupé, you always, je les leur ai donné. Après les leur avoir donné. Do you know what I mean? It's always going to be the same pronouns. Yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Après les leur avoir donné. Or...
That's it. Try for me to link après les leur avoir donné a little bit more, yeah?
Après les
après les leur avoir donné. Don't listen to the grammar. Listen to the imitation. Après les leur avoir donné.
Après les leur avoir donné.
Good. Lovely. All right. Let's do two more and then do a bit of normal French. Has this structure been useful then? So let's remind ourselves the bullet points. Bullet point number 1. If you are doing this kind of work, okay, you are always going to be getting rid of the subject pronoun, because the subject pronoun will be going further back up the sentence. Because either A, if you're using après, it means, or in theory, to be fair with après, it could come next, couldn't it? Because it could be like, I was happy to have bought myself some. Alors, j'étais content de m'en être acheté. After buying myself some, I was happy. Après m'en être acheté, j'étais. You know, do you understand? So, but either way, we know the subject pronoun. Yeah, we know the subject pronoun. So when we do these après and these does, we're not going to have a subject pronoun immediately after the après or the de. Is that clear? On reminder number 1, yes?
Yeah.
That's not a yeah noise. We're not, right. In our normal passé composé lineup, Chris a mangé. Chris est allé. Phil a dormi. Phil a couché avec whatever. You know, the point is, we're then going to get rid of that name. Après avoir couché avec Luc, après avoir dormi, whatever, après être parti. Do you see what I'm saying? We're not there.
Yeah.
Going to have the subject pronoun. Agreed?
That's a definite in that case, yes.
Do you like how I know when you're saying pretending yes and you mean yes? Lovely. Great. Exactly. Good.
Yeah.
So you know
it.
We're not saying we're not going to use it in the sentence. Of course you bloody need to use it in the sentence. Je, Luke, William, Rich, je suis content de whatever the shit is. Je suis sorti, me, Luke, William, Rich, après num. Agreed? No one is saying you're not going to use the subject pronoun in the same speech, but just not before the après or the de. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nor are you going to use the subject pronoun after the après or the de. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
What form of a verb is going to follow most prepositions apart from en?
Infinitive.
Good girl. So de plus infinitive. Après plus infinitive. What do we need to add, Chrissy, if we need to bring in a subject pronoun after après, or a subject? That's where we need our famous which word, après. Which word would I need if I said Luke ate after Chris arrived? So Luc a mangé après blank que c'est arrivé. What word would need to come after après there, please?
Chris,
one of my biggest disappointments is when people I love and have spent a lot of energy on forget après and avant. It makes me so upset. Luc a mangé, this thing here, après blank, Chris est arrivé. What word is blank?
Après, it's going to be the relative pronoun après que.
It's just going to be après que because it's going from one person to another person. Are we in complete understanding of that? Yeah?
Yes. Now I get it. Yep.
Lies. As Kathy Burke, not Kathy Burke. Oh, not just I love Kathy Burke. Kathy Bates, good grief, I'm forgetting my references, says in American Horror Story, when they tell her that do you watch American Horror Story ever?
No, I don't. I was thinking Kathy Bates in that movie with James Caan. Was that the?
Yes, I shall do that if you forget Avoir un être again. I shall break your skiing legs.
Yeah.
No, but the point is, I'd quite happily be confined to a bed and have somebody bring me food. I think that'd be amazing. But no, in all seriousness, in the series, so she's kind of like a Louisiana, New Orleans society woman who's incredibly racist, who is then, by some curse that's placed upon her, alive in the present day. And one of the greatest victories of society and torture for her is when they make her watch television and she sees that there's a black president, and they show her, well, Barack Obama is the president, and she's like, lies, and it's become a meme. You know what I mean? And stuff. So when people say, yeah, I understand what you're saying, I'm like, lies.
I see.
So, in other words,
well, I think if I were going to, I understood I think I understood what you're on about. Then we were talking about the same person. The subject is the same person as being referred to après. So that becomes the continuation of what we were doing before. Whereas when we've got another person, a second person, then it becomes a que.
Gorgeous, which is gorgeous and beautifully put. But when Lukey said what word follows après when it's a different person, the brain staggers. All right, so après que. This business of the que, Chris, is pretty much, I don't want to say, omnipresent in French, but you do get a lot of you do get a lot of times where you need a que because another person's coming in, or indeed a subject pronoun. It can often be the same person. I have to be really careful about that. It can sometimes be the same person depending on the connective, but the point is, and sometimes it would invite a subjunctive and sometimes it wouldn't. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, do these for me. I'm sorry I didn't tell him about it. I'm sorry I didn't tell him about it.
Je suis désolé de ne pas l'avoir.
Look, stand still. Duh. No. Have I humiliated myself with my tongue enough for you? What? Look at me, Chris. Duh and après. If there's no crap, go straight into the pronouns. Yeah. If there's nut and pack crap, then before the pronouns. Yeah. Is that clear? And they will come together. And any muscle memory you have got, Chrissy, of separating nut and pas is a borrowed half muscle memory from a sentence elsewhere. Like, il ne le lui a pas donné. You've borrowed the nut and pas separation. Yeah? You've borrowed the nut and pas separation in your mind from somewhere else. If you are after a de, nut and pas together. Yes?
Yeah. So in this case, it'd be de ne pas, je suis désolé, de ne pas l'en avoir dit.
No. Say for me, I told him about. No, to answer your question, no. Say for, remember, I can't do your job. Say for me, I told him about it. How would you? So, would you agree as well that one of our other sneaky tricks today is learning to use the passé composé sentence to work out this other version? Would you agree that that's the sneaky trick that we're going with? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's basically saying, okay, I'll get that in order in my brain. Why do you think I might do that? Because you guys are all so much more confident using that version, aren't you? So if I asked you to say, I didn't speak to him about it, how would you say I didn't speak to him about it? Don't even think, just say I didn't speak to him about it.
Je lui en ai pas dit. Je lui en ai pas parlé.
Would you like to tell me your final answer and why? I've heard one correct one. Which one's correct and why?
I'd say it's this second one.
Good. As we keep saying, can't say dire de in this context. So as much as people like to go, say is and tell are dire, and speak and talk are parler. If you have a talk about, yeah, what's the song? I don't want to talk about, like it's gonna be parler. Even though in English saying talk, tell about, yeah, I don't want to. He didn't tell me about it. Why did you not get Luke a birthday card? Oh, he didn't tell me about it. Il m'en a pas parlé. Yeah, il m'a rien dit. Fine. Yeah, il m'a rien dit. Fine. Yeah, it's absolutely fine to be like, oh, he said nothing about it. Il m'a rien dit, with rien. But when it's or il ne me l'a jamais dit. He never said anything to me. He never said it to me. Il ne me l'a jamais dit. Il m'en a jamais parlé. So just give me the imitation, please. Il me l'a jamais dit. Il me l'a jamais dit.
Il me l'a jamais dit. Il me l'a jamais dit.
Yeah, il m'en a jamais parlé.
Il m'en a jamais parlé.
Good. So good man. So could you now say for me, I'm sorry I never spoke to him about it. I'm sorry I never spoke to him about it.
Je suis désolé de l'en a jamais parlé.
I don't want to hurt you, but I'm going to plug the iron in. I am. And I'm going to look for a nice unblemished part of your back. And I'm going to play a game called Ironing Out Your Errors. What freaking form of do I need if I'm after a de, Chris?
Je suis désolé de ne pas.
Can I whack anything before my sorry, in between? Can I whack anything in between my Yes or no?
No.
No. Good. And did poor exhausted Lukey not just 3 minutes ago make the point that Chrissy, in his excellence, in his ability to listen, has partially sampled ne some crap jamais, ne some crap pas from another sentence in French? Did we make that point?
Yeah.
And did Lukey say that when you do this version, are you allowed to pop anything between the nut and the pas and the nut and the jamais? Yes, no, in this version, can you have anything between nut and pas and nut and jamais?
No, not after the do and the outbreak.
We've already demonstrated today when you say yes and you mean yes, and you say no and you mean no, and when you don't. So can we have anything in this version with the nut and the pas, in between the nut and the pas and the nut and the jamais? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Definitely.
Better. Lovely. So off you go. So I'm sorry, I never spoke to him about it.
Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en parler.
Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en pronouns. Good. All's looking good so far. So we've got rid of the pronoun, subject pronoun. We've got our lovely de in. Well done. Je suis désolé de ne jamais. We got our double, ne jamais in. Our adverb. We even managed the pronouns. Lui en. What's next? What's next?
Avoir parlé.
Good. Yeah. So did your muscle memory stand up to that? No, because your muscle memory hasn't done these, which is why Lukey's doing them with you, because he so cares about you that he gave you a curriculum that will cover this shit, because he cares. Off you go.
Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé.
Now, do you think you're going to develop a muscle memory going at that pace and in that manner? No. Oh, je suis désolé de ne pas. Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Get used to saying it.
Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Je suis désolé de
ne
jamais lui.
So, Chris, you are doing beautiful work, and even though you're making a mistake, the mistake you're making is very encouraging to Auntie Lukey, because you are basically using a muscle memory from elsewhere. Because which of you said more, Chrissy? Have you said le lui en ait parlé or le lui en avoir parlé? Which one of you said more? The one without the auxiliary infinitive. Yeah. So which
le lui en ait parlé.
That's it. Yeah.
So I need to get to. Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Je suis désolé de ne jamais le lui
en
avoir parlé.
If that feels long, you imagine somebody being French learning. I'm sorry to have never spoken to him about it. Fine, it's just the same. It's learning things again. Oh, je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Oh, je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Je suis désolé de ne jamais lui en avoir parlé. Did somebody lovingly take the time to teach you guys to do small consonants and even spend a week learning how to do blur with you? Yeah, did we do that in the imitation? Have we been doing that? So that you can now do this kind of gorgeous, clever big boy grammar, feel lovely about yourself, have a great life, and think, shit, man, I'm really coming along in my French. It's almost as if someone had a master plan. Yes? Off you go.
Je suis désolé de ne jamais le lui en avoir parlé. Je suis désolé de ne jamais le lui en avoir parlé.
Be honest, that feels a little bit good, yes?
Yeah, it was pretty good, the last one, yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. So I will use this one online. We always seem to get stuff. We fell out of that for a while because you just did the same stuff as everybody else. I don't know why. But traditionally, I don't know why, my thematic teaching week used to start Thursday night with you. I do not know why, but I always thought I'll start it on a Friday teaching. I'll do Chris Thursday night. I'll teach this thing Friday. It's sort of like I used you because you like a system. And then I sort of worked out, okay, what will go down well, what goes down less well, and you always got the prototype. And that worked really well. And then for ages, we just had the same thing, but starting Monday with Isaac for some reason, and I got out of this. But I will be doing this with the people. So, I use the video to teach, to show people, and you've done very, very well. And the mistakes you've made are lovely because they're the mistakes that we need you to make. All right? So, say for me, he's sorry he bought he's sorry he bought himself nothing. He's sorry he didn't buy himself anything. He's sorry he bought himself nothing. He's sorry he didn't buy anything. He didn't buy himself anything.
Il regrette de ne pas
I'm going to leave that as your homework challenge, and I want you to WhatsApp it me or pop it under the video in the comments, and I'd like you to have a little play with that one, and I'd like you to come back with why and what it is. Yes, he's sorry he didn't buy himself anything. He's sorry he bought. He's sorry he bought himself. Yeah. Yeah.
I could make a stab at it, but it's probably going to be wrong because I'm just guessing.
Go on then.
Well, il regrette de ne pas avoir acheté quelque chose. Something like that.
Il regrette de ne pas s'être acheté quelque chose. Wouldn't it be yeah? But if we're using nothing, what's an easier word for nothing?
Rien. Rien.
So I'd like that in your answer. I'd like you to go and have a little consider. Good. I need to go and eat.
Yeah.
Well done. Especially bearing in mind you did it straight after waking up after.
Yeah, apologies for that.
No. Please, how often do I leave you waiting with shit? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Has this been useful? Do we get the system of transferring from the passé composé into this? Yes.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. We're getting with it. We're going with the de and the are. No comes there if necessary. Then the pronouns if necessary. Then the all-important. I mean, do you remember at the beginning of the class, remembering to do avoir un être was your problem? Is remembering to do avoir un être your problem now?
No.
No, God, we've done far more interesting things in the space of an hour. So well done. Well done. All right.
Okay.
Big love. Big kiss.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks again.
Right?
Cheers again. Yeah.